Japanese role-playing games have been around for decades, and Atlus was and still is a pillar in that genre around the globe. In 1997, Atlus released a dungeon crawler on Sega Saturn called Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. 2 years after it was ported to the Sony PlayStation, but was only released outside of Japan in April of 2013 when it got remastered on the Nintendo 3DS. In 2021, Atlus and Sega shared an interesting slide during a fiscal report mentioning Soul Hackers on a slide called Pillar Titles for Sega games going forward. Needless to say that I was very surprised to see Soul Hackers alongside other pillar titles from Atlus like Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, since the last entry was 20 years ago. And why not Devil Summoner? It's in February of 2022 that everything became clear when Atlus revealed that they're bringing Soul Hackers back in a new light on modern platforms with a sequel, Soul Hackers 2. Soul Hackers 2 dropped the Devil Summoner name from the title, and according to Sega themselves, is a brand new title, and therefore zero knowledge of the original Soul Hackers is required to enjoy this one. Today I'm here to give you my spoiler-free review of Soul Hackers 2 for PlayStation 5. Here's how Soul Hackers 2, in my opinion, is a very solid release by Atlus that has appeal for both Shin Megami Tensei and Persona fans. A review copy was provided by Atlus West. After the latest major release by Atlus, Shin Megami Tensei 5 in November of 2021, a lot of fans were criticizing the game for its lack of in-depth story. So let's first take a look at Soul Hackers 2 and how it completely nailed it in terms of story. You play as a female artificial intelligence protagonist called Ringo. Ringo and her partner Fig are both agents of Ion sent on Earth to save the world from the Phantom Society. Fig and Ringo are thrown into the world in the middle of a gigantic conflict between devil summoners. And as you investigate the current state of the world, you learn more about the Phantom Society and their purpose. The main antagonist for the game is called Iron Mask. Iron Mask is a perfect replica of your typical JRPG antagonist at first, but as you progress through the story, you learn more about him and his organization, purpose, and he's definitely one of the best written characters in the game. Right at the start of the game, you meet your 3 party members, Arrow, Melody, and Saizo. All of them are from different organizations and they have their in-depth backstory to learn more about. I found all the party members to be extremely interesting and diverse, seeing them all working together against their will because they have no other options, and seeing them evolve as Devil Summoner was a fantastic experience for me. This cast of characters has to be my favorite that we've seen in an Atlus title in a long time. This story is full of twists and turns, it's very in-depth without being overcomplicated, and the different endings all offer a satisfying and overall very memorable experience. You can complete Soul Hackers 2 in around 30 hours if you skip most of the side content. My first playthrough with some of the side content took me about 45 hours, and if you are playing the game on normal and you go for the true ending, you should get a solid 50 hours of playtime with this game. Alright, now it's time to get into the swing of things with the gameplay of Soul Hackers 2. Soul Hackers 2 is very much a traditional Atlus dungeon crawler, but with a ton of new and refreshing mechanics to make it feel like a modern but traditional game at the same time. As you progress through the game, you will have the liberty of exploring a lot of different locations, all with varied and distinct environments. The cities are very lively with tons of characters moving around you can talk to and get to know more about the world. Shops and restaurants are scattered around the world, and it was a real pleasure to speak with every NPC around town. One of my favorite things from Soul Hackers 2 was seeing Ringo interact with humans and reacting to their ways of doing things. Seeing Ringo grow as a character from an artificial intelligence to pretty much a full-fledged human was delightful. Speaking of the cities, in this game I need to mention Kakurocho. Kakurocho is a standout to me, especially since it very much reminded me of Kamurocho from the Yakuza series. The developer made the world feel real with the presence of cities full of humans and other cities full of Devil Summoner. It's a blast. A staple in Atlus titles in the Megaton universe is the ability to collect, fuse, and summon demons. You use a comp to summon your demons, and what's great about the comp in Soul Hackers 2 specifically is that you can use the resources that you collect around dungeons to upgrade your comp. You can increase your affinity with certain type of skills. For example, if you increase your affinities to fire, you can make fire skills cheaper to use in mana or more powerful in general, but you can also use your comp to get other quality of life features for your game. For demon fusion in this game, you need to travel to the Cercle du Goumadon, a staple location in the Devil Summoner series where you will work with Victor to fuse various demons together. While the fusion animations themselves are a little simple, it's still as satisfying as ever to pick and choose which one of your demon you want to fuse together and collect them all. Skill inheritance is still a thing, but it's a little strange as you can't always predict which skills specifically your newly fused demon will inherit. It was not a big deal to me, but still a strange thing to see in a modern release from Atlus. I'm pretty sure that in my Megaton community little circle, I'm one of the content creators that enjoyed Soul Hackers 2 the most, but I still have my fair share of complaints with it. The main one being how you recruit demons. In SMT games, you speak to a demon in battle and start a negotiation process to get the demon to join your team. In these negotiation sequences, demons will just laugh in your face, insult you, or simply compliment you before joining your team, or just rejecting you completely, which made this demon negotiation thing very funny and addictive. In Soul Hackers 2, you will find NPC demons around dungeons, and when you talk to them, depending on the icon on top of their heads, you might be able to recruit them. There is pretty much no negotiation in this game. If you accept the request of the demon, it will join you. If you don't have any room for the demon, or if your level is too low to recruit them, they simply won't join you. It's not a major issue, but it's definitely a part of Shin Megami Tensei games that I adore that was unfortunately made a little too simple for my taste in Soul Hackers 2. That being said, dungeon exploration was absolutely one of my favorite aspects in this game. The dungeon in Soul Hackers 2 are a mix of the dungeons from Tokyo Mirage Sessions, SRPFI, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, and Persona 3. Yeah, this probably sounds insane to you if you played all the previously mentioned titles, so let me explain. Main dungeons are simple in terms of puzzles and original mechanics like in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but dungeons are huge and sometimes can be a little tricky to explore like in SMT Strange Journey. Teleportation mazes are in this game, and I feel the need to mention it as I know some of the fans don't appreciate them, but they honestly are fair mazes that shouldn't completely destroy your brain like certain sectors in Strange Journey can. As you explore dungeons, your minimap gets bigger and makes new areas visible, and I don't know why, but this is something that I found to be very addictive, making me want to explore every little corner of every dungeon. But what about Persona 3, you'll ask? Well, in Soul Hackers 2, you have access to a huge dungeon called the Soul Matrix. As agents of Ions, Fig and Ringo are able to enter the Soul Matrix of different party members. You have 3 separate Soul Matrix to explore, each one with multiple different floors to go through. The designs of all the floors are visually similar but are different in terms of exploration. This reminded me of Tartarus from Persona 3, or even the Labyrinth of Amala from Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. Demons are also scattered around the Soul Matrix, and by talking to them, you can obtain rare resources and items, or even recruit them to join your party. What's so great about the Soul Matrix is that when you reach a certain point of each one of the floors, you will get a cutscene about past memories and traumas of your party members. This is how the developers of Soul Hackers 2 ensured that all party members are memorable, and it also kept the Soul Matrix fun to explore for me. Guardians are the bosses at the end of Soul Matrix floors, and they can be found at the end of each major sections, and by beating them, you get access to a barrier to reach a deeper level in the character's Soul Matrix. As you learn more about your different party members, you increase your soul level with them. Think of it as your social mechanic for this game. To reach deeper levels in the Soul Matrix of a specific character, you need a certain soul level to ensure that you are ready to learn more about this character. Soul levels are increased as you progress through the story and also as you go through hangout events. Exploring the Soul Matrix to completion is necessary to unlock the true ending, but it's honestly quite a blast to explore, so I highly suggest working your way through each one of the floors of all the Soul Matrix. Oh, and most importantly, when you reach a certain point in Soul Matrix, you can unlock summoner skills, which are a must to make your party members more powerful in battle. Alongside the summoner skills, you can also unlock commander skills for Ringo that are extremely important as they give major advantages such as increase the number of skills for each one of your demons. Just a lot of character customizations options as well. I'm not even talking about the accessories yet. The different soul matrix for each one of the characters may sound like the only way to get character development for party members at first, but far from it. All the party members are directly linked to some of their characters that you encounter in the main story. None of the characters feel forced in like we've seen in previous Atlus titles. That was great to see. In Soul Hackers 2, there is a location called Bar Edge Run, and this is where you can go through hangout events. These events will seem familiar to you if you played some of the modern Persona games, since they very much feel like simplified social links. Your party members are interacting together and sharing their interesting stories to each other. Those events, while very simple, were still fun to go through, and another example as to why those characters are so unforgettable. That being said, I really wish they went the extra mile to give us varied locations for the hangout events and make them a little bit more diverse like in the Persona games. This is probably something that we can expect from a sequel to this game. Sometimes, certain hangout events are unlocked through certain requests, which are side quests for this game. Requests are obtained through NPCs around the world of Soul Hackers 2, and while some of them are simple, like kill 5 of X demon, others are super interesting, especially when you get hangout events about them, which allows you to see your party members exchanging about what happened or what is currently happening in one of your requests. All of the requests give different rewards, whether it's to unlock a certain special demon for fusion or give rewards like accessories and experience points. As you can see, Soul Hackers 2 has you covered in terms of new gameplay features. You can eat meals at your base between main story events to give you different boosts as you explore dungeons. It can give the ability to restore mana while walking or give additional EXP points when fighting demons of a higher level than you. All those gameplay features can sound overwhelming at first, but the game honestly presents all of its mechanic in a very well-paced manner. There's also a bunch of options to make your gameplay experience more enjoyable. Difficulty options are available. I found the game to be decently challenging on normal. If you played a previous Megami Tensei title by Atlus, you'll be just fine. Otherwise, easy mode and also ARN mode are also options. I found the game to have no major difficulty spike in this game, so no Minotaur from SMT4 or Matador from SMT3. The whole game feels absolutely well balanced. Save data transfer is available from PS4 to PS5, so I assume it's also an option from Xbox One to Xbox Series system. On PlayStation 5, 2 modes are available: Fidelity and Performance. Fidelity being for higher graphics fidelity and performance for a more solid framerate experience. The game isn't afraid to throw extremely fancy animations and visuals in your face. This game is a visual showcase, and believe me when I say that video footage does not do this self-shaded art style justice. From my experience playing both modes, the game runs flawlessly on PlayStation 5. Jumping in and out of combat is pretty much instant, but strangely enough, moving from a main area or dungeon to another is kind of long, even on PS5 with the SSD. Alright, now let's get into the combat for Soul Hackers 2. Soul Hackers 2 is a turn-based RPG. You have your 4 party members in battle all at once, and you have full control over all of them. As always with anything Megaton, exploiting a weakness of the enemy results in you getting the advantage in battle. When you strike the weakness of one of your enemies, you gain 1 stack. At the end of your turn, you will perform a Sabbath attack. When you hit an enemy weakness with one of your demons, this demon will stack, and all of your stacked demon will land 1 major attack at the end of the turn called Sabbath. The more stacked demon you have, the more powerful the attack. This system reminded me of the system from Strange Journey, but while still being unique. You can also think of it as an all-out attack from Persona. In terms of combat, my main complaint is that you do not see your demons on field except during Sabbath. This honestly felt like a huge downgrade from SMT5. You can even see the demons roaming around in SMT5. In Soul Hackers 2, you only see blurry little icons on field running around to attack you. Otherwise, the combat is still as addictive and complex as ever, with tons of different skills, buffs and debuffs, and more to make your battles interesting from start to finish. Guns are back, and your different summoner and commander skills offer a lot of variety in combat, allowing you to switch demons on the fly at any time, and a lot of other things. The animations in combat are very beautiful, especially the tandem skills. You can learn tandem skills on some of the demons in this game, and tandem skills will occasionally trigger at the end of your turn, allowing for different buffs or even an extra attack on enemy. It's super fun to see some of the demons in 3D for the first time, or just seeing some older designs of demons that we all know and love, like Jack Frost or Angel. What's a David Cash JRPG's Atlus review without me gushing about the soundtrack? I'm glad you asked. Soul Hackers 2 has a very funky soundtrack. The whole soundtrack absolutely feels like it's an original Devil Summoner soundtrack, but with a modern touch of electronic style music and also hip hop. It's really great. Oh, and the opening theme, that's an absolute banger. I gotta say, just the audio direction in general is great. Audio effects are super well made to make you feel invested in game. The voice acting is definitely a great surprise to me. You can change the English voices to Japanese if you want, but the new cast of voice actors for Soul Hackers 2 in English is fantastic. Megan Taylor RV, the voice of Ringo, is back after her role of Sophia in Persona 5 Strikers, and she did great once again. I am a big fan of the voice acting work in the game, but especially for the main party members. Whenever you get an important story scene, you can really feel the emotions through the voice acting, and that to me proves that they did a fantastic job. In my mind, Soul Hackers 2 definitely achieved the impossible by appealing to both old school Megami Tensei veterans and also to newer fans of Atlus. It's clear while playing the game that they tried to appeal to both older fans and newer fans, and clearly they succeeded. This game feels like a modern Devil Summoner, and that's a very good thing, especially since this game is more of a reboot than a real Soul Hackers sequel game, especially with Atlus dropping the Devil Summoner from the original's name. Does Soul Hacker 2 feel like a complete product? Absolutely. Can Soul Hackers 2 stand next to Atlus's other modern masterpieces like Shin Megami Tensei 5 or Persona 5? Maybe not, but it has all the potential in the world to become the next big hitter title for Atlus. I'm totally hoping for a Nintendo Switch port down the line to give this game a second shot at massive success, but for now I am absolutely content with my experience with Soul Hackers 2, and I hope you will give it a chance. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to this review of Soul Hackers 2. If you enjoyed it, a quick thumbs up is always a big help. Please look forward to my other Soul Hackers 2 content, including tips, videos, and more. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye.